Hey guys, Pedro here to tell you about the incredible show that I attended in Toronto at Budweiser Stage. It was the actual first show of the season for Budweiser Stage, and it was none other than Sesenta version 2.0. Yes, so for those of you that don't know, this is kind of an interesting one because it's three bands touring together under a very special premises. The bands are The Perfect Circle, Primus, and Puscifer. Now, the special circumstances behind this tour is the celebration of Maynard James Keenan's 61st birthday. And this is version 2 because they've done this before and it worked out, I guess, really well, and they had a bunch of good times, so they wanted to do it again. And here we are in the midst of it. There's still some shows left. I'm going to put the tour dates in the description of this video so you guys can go check it out. But this is a show that had me so intrigued because obviously I didn't catch the first version of this tour, so I was really excited to see what these three bands were going to do, how the setup was going to be, how many songs are they going to play. Like, there's so many unanswered questions that unless you attend, they're going to remain unanswered, or unless you watch this concert review. So let me start off by saying that the way the show is broken down to is by 3 acts. There's Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. There's an intermission of 10 minutes for everybody to be able to go to the washroom, check their cell phone, and perhaps grab a beer or another kind of beverage of your interest. So in these 3 different acts, each band plays a mini set. So you'll have The Perfect Circle come on, they'll play like 3 or 4 songs, then they don't leave the stage. They actually have an area in the stage with sofas where the other bands can just chill while the other band is performing. So when the show started with A Perfect Circle, after they finished playing their songs, they went and they sat down, they chilled, and then Primus came out and played, so they're watching Primus play. Then Primus finishes, Puscifer comes on, everybody else sits down, watches their performance. It has this really cool laid-back vibe as far as how the show is presented by all 3 bands. It really feels, more than anything, just like a jam session, just a bunch of friends playing some songs, having a good time, and you know what, you're in the crowd, you happen to be there for the ride. So it really offers that sort of vibe. The production is really cool as well because they have all 3 drum kits set up simultaneously. Everything is set up for all 3 bands to play together, which they do. The closing song of the set is Grand Canyon, and all 3 bands play together that one single song to close off the evening. So everything is set up for all 3 bands. They just rotate very quickly after they play their mini sets across these 3 different acts. They play a total of 31 songs. So it's going to be a night that's going to be around the 3-hour mark. There's no opening band, just these guys, 3 hours of great music, and you're going to hear some of Primus's most popular songs, some of the Perfect Circle's most popular songs, and definitely Puscifer's more popular songs. So it is a great experience from that standpoint. You have some of the best musicians on the planet touring together, playing together in a very laid-back format. And I'll tell you how laid-back it is. Puscifer was playing a song, they brought a ping pong table on stage, and you got a couple of guys from Primus and a couple of guys from The Perfect Circle playing ping pong with one another while there's a song being played. I mean, there is a lot of craziness, and I think you can always expect that when Maynard James Keenan is involved. So expect the unexpectable, I guess it's a good way to put it. The ping pong really kind of blew me away because I don't know, do I watch the band and pay attention to what's going on, or do I watch these guys play ping pong? Like, your senses are like an absolute overload, and I think that's something that it's true about the overall performance, is that your senses are constantly being put to the test. So when you see the messages, if you attend the show, you see the messages about not using cell phones. You'll get kicked out if you bring your phone and you start doing videos or pictures. When you think about how the performance develops throughout the evening, not having the phone in your face is actually a great idea because it allows you to be completely focused on what's happening on stage, allows you to see all of these different dynamics that are happening on stage because the bands never really leave the stage, and it allows you to feel completely immersed in what the bands are trying to offer you, which is not just music. It's an overall experience. It's a musical experience and it's a visual experience. And I think that is something really cool that without your full focus and concentration, I think you're only going to grasp a little part or portion of what this show is really all about what these 3 hours of great music are all about. During the performance in Toronto, Keenan also announced that there is a new Puscifer album coming out in the fall, so you got that to look forward to if you're a fan of the band. Primus played a brand new song as well, so there's a brand new track by Primus being performed throughout this tour. It is just, like I said, it's just a great experience. It's not every day that you have a chance of seeing these 3 bands play together, and when I mean together, I mean together, because there's also some songs where you have members of other bands coming in and doing some ad-libbing, doing some fill-ins, either being on drums or on guitar or on vocals, and that adds a different vibe to it. It's almost like you're getting some guest vocalists to play a very special live version of a song. So that on itself already feels special, and it adds a different vibe to what the overall show and to what this overall concert is all about. And let me tell you, the show started at 8 o'clock at night here in Toronto. It was freezing cold, but the place was packed and it didn't feel cold. You felt warmth coming not only out of the audience, because they were really into it, and everybody was super respectful of not using their cell phones, but you also got warmth coming out of the bands. They were really into it. You could tell they were having a good time, not only having a good time performing for the audience, but they were having a good time watching each other play. Like, so many times you would be listening to or watching Primus, let's say, and Keenan would be seated up the riser where the 3 drum kits were, and he's just playing like air drums, following the song along. That is a fan of the music, and that is a great, another great visual add-on to what this overall performance by Sesenta is all about, or by these 3 bands under this Sesenta moniker. So I really enjoyed this show. It was such a different and unique experience, and like I said, if you have a chance to catch it, go watch it. It's art. It's art in its purest format. 3 unique, different, charismatic bands playing together, touring together, collaborating together, live and on stage. Something for the ages, I must say. I don't think there was a single person that left thinking that they didn't get their money's worth. Everybody was smiling, everybody was talking about how great the performance was, and for those of you that love your cell phones, they let you bring that shit out on the last song, Grand Canyon, when all 3 bands are on stage, and you can record your heart's desires of as many minutes as you want of that last song, that closing song. So it's a nice way to be included in Keenan's birthday celebration. It's a nice way to enjoy these 3 bands in a very special format with very specifics to it. And once again, a great show, a great tour, one that I highly recommend you guys check it out. All right, I'll see you all at the next video.